Death at the gates again. Howling my name. Can't greet you today. I have a war to win.
Hello there, Seraph17 once again. This is my Wolfenstein, the New Order, Uber difficulty video walkthrough. This is Chapter 7, A Mystery. We're back in the base underneath Berlin, and this is another instance where you can indulge in some side quests, in some exposition dumps, and just find out more about the characters and this little world that the game is building. Or you can go directly for exactly what you want. And in this instance, we need to find, I believe, a circular saw, and we need to cut off some concrete with some mould in it. So if you come over here, you pick this up, you're going to fall through the floor, and this is going to lead to another one of the impromptu submissions, which is get out of the sewers and do so in one piece. And these sections really remind me of Dishonored. And if you never played Dishonored, between the main missions where you generally had to assassinate people in varied locations, you would go back to a base, like a hub, similar to this one, but it was a little bit larger and a little bit more embellished, and there was generally a mission you did there before you went on to the next area, and it was nowhere near as grand or as large scale, but it usually involved navigating the hub in some way, and a lot of them were sewer based, and it just very, very similar on that nature. And it reminds me of one of the things I liked about Dishonored, and I liked that in that game, and I like it in this one, and it's something that games don't do enough, especially around this genre. Just this idea of you're building a home and you're building the community in it, and sure, it's not to a large scale, you know, comparison to something maybe like a Fallout, but it's still noticeable. You know, it's not quite like Medulla in Dark Souls 2, but there's enough there to give you some character, and who's to say that, you know, in a few years it won't expand to the point where it does become a really big thing and a really important thing. Because anybody who's played Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, there's the mother base in that game, which is a central hub where you get to delegate what your recruits do, be it from R&D to in the kitchen to, you know, the tech wards doing IT and stuff. But it's all managed like a, you know, a Premier League manager type game where you just do it on spreadsheets and, you know, ticking boxes, Microsoft Excel kind of bullshit. Well, just imagine a first-person shooter or any game of that kind of scope that enabled you to do that, you know, through your own actions in your hub world. And the closest thing to it that I can think of is Assassin's Creed. And it's kind of funny, in Assassin's Creed it winds me up and I never do it, because it's all about just delegating pointless shit, and it's always in interfaces and menus that are just not very intuitive or very fun to navigate, which is probably why it fundamentally fails. But also a lot of it is stuff you don't see, you know, which if you saw it I think it'd have much more of an effect, but at the same time it's obviously put in there as a bit of a distraction, as something that, you know, might have some kind of smart glass integration and let you do it on a tablet or do it on your mobile phone. I was recently at Lummy's. I say recently, it was ages ago now, but it was the last time I saw him, and he showed me the Battlefield 4 app smart glass thing where you get to play as the commander, and I'd never seen anything like that before, and it was the first instance where I actually welcomed the inclusion of smart glass, because to me it just sounded like this novelty nonsense bullshitty thing. But when I dabbled with it, you know, it's not for me, I'm not the person that it's designed for, but there's definitely somebody out there who takes the idea of calling in UAVs and airstrikes and helping out your team pretty seriously, and probably will have a lot of fun. So it's definitely exciting for whatever the hell they do with it next and whatever it develops into. But now that we've navigated this area, we can keep on pushing forward. I believe there's a bit of a boss fight coming up, but I could be wrong. It might be a different occurrence. You know, it's been so recently that I beat this game that I have... No, different time, guys. Sorry, this is the end of the video. So all you have to do now is cut this, skip the cutscene of scaring Max, and then you want to return back to Anya, and she's going to tell you that the person who sabotaged that brick is in a prison camp in Bellica. And that will be the next mission, the very reminiscent of Butcher Bay prison level. Only you're not trading cigarettes, which is a bit of a shame. But all that's left to do here is run back to her, guys, and you don't really need my help to do that, so I'm going to sign off by saying thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing if you have, and as always, you take care now.
I know, but